Hi, this is a question on Venn diagram optimization. Not very difficult, but you need to be careful. It will take some amount of time. You need to be careful in terms of looking at what exactly is given. And in fact, two of the questions are related. Extra information is given to you, right? So you will not get a direct answer straight away. You'll have to work out the Venn diagram a little bit and then go to the questions. Okay, so let's see what the Venn diagram actually says. Fun Sports provides training for 3 sports: Gilli Danda, G, Kho K, and Ludo L. Currently, it has an enrollment of 39 students, each of whom is enrolled in at least one of the 3 sports. Right? The number of students enrolled in only L is double the number of students enrolled in all 3 sports. The total number of students is enrolled. Total of 17 students are enrolled in G. Number of students enrolled only in G is 1 less than the number of students enrolled only in L. Number of students enrolled only in K is equal to the number of students enrolled in both K and L. Maximum student enrollment is in L, and the total 10 students are enrolled in G are also enrolled in at least one more sport. Okay, so let me just summarize this. I've summarized this. I've put a Venn diagram here. You have Gilli Danda, Kho, Ludo, and so on. Right? So I've written it down. Number of students enrolled in only L, which is G, is double the number of those who enrolled in 3 sports. Total of 17 in G. This total is 17. Number of students enrolled only in G, which is A, is 1 less than those enrolled only in L, which is this -1. Number of students enrolled only in K, which is C, is equal to the number of students who are enrolled in both K and L. Both K and L will be E plus D. And maximum enrollment is in L, so number in Ludo is more than number in Kho, and number of Ludo is more than number in Gilli Danda. And 10 students are enrolled in G are also enrolled in at least one more sport. Now this total was 17. One additional sport, Gilli Danda plus one more sport will be BEF. So this total will be 10. Okay, now let's work this out a little bit. Okay, now this total is 10. Right, which means A should be 7. A should be 7. Now we also know A is G minus 1, so G should be 8. And G is twice of E, so E should be 4. So we have fixed this part. Okay, let's move further. Right, now let's try to figure out something else. Now we know the number of people in Ludo is more than Kho. Ludo is more than Kho. So the difference, so B and C should be less than this. Right, 8 plus F should be more than B plus C. Similarly, A plus B should be less than D plus G. Right? So I've written this down. Now because E is 4, B and F will add up to 6. Now let's substitute back in the full part. The total is 39. So if I add this all up, right, A is 7, B keeping it as B. C is same as D plus E. And there is additional D and E, so I put it twice D and E. Then you have F and G. G is 8. This total will be 39. If I resolve this, I'll get D plus E should be equal to 9. D plus E should be equal to 9. Out of which I know E is equal to 4. So D should be 5. And C is same as D plus E, so it should be equal to 9. So I have D comes out as 5, C comes out as 9. Now B and F we don't know. B and F total is 6. Now let's try to work B and F together with this inequality. Okay, if I work it with this, now because this total will be more than this total, I can say F is more than B plus 1. F is more than B plus 1. And we also know F plus B is equal to 6. So the possibilities are F is equal to 4, B is equal to 2. Or you can have F is equal to 5, B is equal to 1. Or F is equal to 6, B is equal to 0. 3 and 3 are not possible. Okay, let's try to fix these values here. If I put 4 or 5 or 6, this will be 2 or 1 or 0. Let's add up the values. Okay, I've added up these values. These are the possibilities. When B is 2, this will be 20, this will be 21. When B is 1, this will be 19, this will be 22. When B is 0, this will be 18, this will be 23. So except for B and F and these totals, we know everything else. let's go to the questions. Okay, what is the minimum number of students enrolled in both G and L but not K? G and L but not K, which is F. Minimum possible value of F is 4. So I can write this 4. Okay, if the number of students enrolled in K and L are in the ratio 19:22, K and L are in the ratio 19:22, which means this is 19, this is 22. What is the number of students enrolled in L? That's 22. That's straightforward. Okay. Now, the remaining two questions have the same initial information. Okay. So let's look at the initial information. Due to academic pressure, students who are enrolled in all 3 sports were asked to withdraw from one of the 3 sports. So these people were to move out from 3 sports. They can either leave Ludo, in which case they will go to B. They can leave Gilli Danda, in which case they will go to D. Or they can leave Kho-Kho, in which case they can go to F. Right? This will become 0. Now we need to find out how these people move. Okay, after the withdrawal, the number of students enrolled in G was 6 less than number of students in L. This became 6 less than L. While the number of students enrolled in K went down by 1. Okay. After the withdrawal, you have then how many students were enrolled in both G and K and how many students were enrolled in both G and L. Okay, so we need to figure out G and K, which is the new value of B, and G and L, which is the new value of F. Okay, now, because they are moving out from all 3 sports, the number can only decrease, right? For example, if one person goes from here to here, Gilli Danda will decrease by 1. If one person moves from here to here, Kho-Kho will decrease by 1. If one person moves from here to here, Ludo will decrease by 1. So the numbers can only fall. It cannot rise any further, right? Now, if you look at the difference between we know the number of students who enrolled in K went down by 1. Kho-Kho went down by 1, which means one person moved here. Right? One person moved here. Right? Okay. So we need to figure out for the other 3. Now it will not change the value of Gilli Danda's people. It does not change the value of Ludo. That will still remain the same. Kho-Kho will drop by 1. Now the difference between Gilli Danda and Ludo should fall by, should be 6. The difference between number of people who play Ludo and the number of people who play Gilli Danda, this should be 6. Right? So the remaining 3 people, we have to migrate it in such a way the difference becomes 6. Now, if I plug 2 here and 1 here, right? Gilli Danda will fall by 1 and then Ludo will fall by 2. Gilli Danda will fall by 1, Ludo will fall by 2. Right? After this, the difference should be 6. In which case, L minus G should have been originally, this is minus 1, should have been 7, which is not possible. The highest possibility is 6. So 2 and 1 is not possible. If I put 3 and 0, right, this difference should have been 9, which is also not possible. 3, 0 is also not possible. Now if I put 1 here and 2 here, if I put 1 here and 2 here, this should be L minus 1, G minus 2. So you will get L minus G plus 1 should be equal to 6, which is possible only when L minus G is equal to 5. This is possible. L minus G is equal to 5 and this is 17, this is 22. Okay, and the last scenario will be where this is 0, this is 3. Let's see if that is possible. If I put L minus 0 minus G minus 3, this should be equal to 6. If I rewrite this, you'll get L minus G should be equal to 3, which is not possible. So this is also out. So the only scenario possible is 1 person moves here and 2 person moves here. Right? So let me just erase this part and write it down neatly. Right? So the only way possible is if one person moves here and two person moves here, in which case L minus D originally should have been 5, which is possible only if this is 22 and this is 19. Now one more person is there. So initially there was 1 plus 1, now there are 2 here. There were 5 here, 5 plus 1, now there is 6 here. Now we can answer both the questions. How many students are enrolled in both G and K? G and K is now, this is 2. How many people are enrolled in both G and L? G and L is basically 6. Right? So this part was the trickiest one. For students who have enrolled in our course, we actually had a couple of sets in our learning module as such. But it's not very difficult to solve this. It's not easy also. It'll take some amount of patience. You need to be very careful. The first 2 questions can be solved reasonably quickly. The last 2 questions require some amount of patience, right? You should, in the actual exam situation, it will take you about 12 to 14 minutes to solve, right? But patience is the key to answering this. That completes this particular